Hello boys and girls, welcome back. I am so excited for this week because this week we're gonna get to create a new art project. Our previous art project was creating a fall tree, and we learned all about warm colors. We know that some examples of warm colors are the red, the yellow, and the orange. Now, let's take a look at some of the amazing artwork that you all created. Aren't those fall trees just beautiful? Now, this week we've been reviewing all about cool colors. And we know that cool colors are soothing and calm. Some examples of cool colors would be the blue, the green, and the purple. Any mixture of these colors is considered to be a cool color. Now, for today's art project, we'll use our knowledge over cool colors and landscapes to create a winter scene. So let's go ahead and get started. For today's art project, we will create a winter landscape. To create our winter landscape, we will need watercolors, paint brushes. My favorite one to use is the medium-sized paintbrush, a paper towel, 1 cup filled with water. To create texture for our snow, we will use either salt or glitter. You can pick either one to use. I'm using glitter for today. A glue stick, scissors, and 2 white sheets of paper. For today's art project, we will be using watercolors as our medium or material. The important thing about watercolors is to remember to use enough water to make a puddle on your watercolor palette. You also need to remember to make your brush and paint wet, but not so wet that you end up having puddles on your paper. Remember to use the cool colors on your watercolor palette. These colors are the green, the blue, and the purple. Okay, so let's begin by using our cool colors to create horizontal stripes on our page. Now, if you want your colors to be lighter, you can always use more water on your brush. Remember to treat our paintbrushes like a ballerina. Remember, a ballerina loves dancing on its tippy toes. Make sure that we use the tip of our brush to create our horizontal stripes. Once you're done creating your first horizontal stripe, now it's time to incorporate our second cool color. Now here comes the fun part. While your paint is still wet, remember to sprinkle either salt or glitter to create the texture of the snow in the sky. Once we're done painting our horizontal stripes, it's time to put them aside and wait for them to dry. Now, let's grab a cleaned white sheet of paper and start creating the background for our landscape. We are going to turn our page horizontal, and starting in the middle of our page, you are going to use a very light hand with your pencil to draw a horizontal line across the middle of your paper. This line shows where the sky ends and the land begins. Now, to create the sky, we will use a watercolor technique called wet on wet. Lightly paint your sky with a clean paintbrush with water only. Then paint over it using your blue watercolor and see how easily our watercolor spreads. This is called the wet on wet technique. Right after you finish painting, and while your paint is still wet, sprinkle either some salt or glitter on your paper to create the texture of the snow in the sky. Now we are going to grab our first page and we are going to use a pencil to draw some tall, skinny triangles on our page. You are going to draw some large, some medium, and some small sized triangles to create the trees in our winter landscape. Once you're finished drawing these triangles, it's time to cut them out. Once our background page is fully dry, we are going to start arranging and laying out our triangles on our background. We've learned all about the three parts of a landscape: the foreground, the middle ground, and the background. The objects in the foreground are closest to the viewer and appear to be the largest. Place your large trees at the very bottom of your page. The middle ground is in the middle of your page. Place your middle-sized trees in the middle of your page. Tuck them behind your large trees to make them appear that they are farther away. The smallest trees will go in the background, where the sky meets the land. They will appear to be the farthest away. Once you have all your trees laid out, lift them up one by one and glue them in place. Congratulations, artist! You used your knowledge of cool colors and landscapes to create a beautiful piece of art. Great job, artist!